Tension builds early as Sapenov and Puranik explore the depths of the King's Indian attack in Asian Individual Chess Championships 2025 Open Round 2. Knight f3. On d5 transposed into King's Indian attack. On g3. Knight f6. Bishop g2. On c5. King castled kingside. On e6. On c4. On d4. On e3. Knight c6. On d3. On h6. On takes d4. On takes d4. Rook e1. Bishop d6. Knight a3. King castled kingside. Knight c2. Rook e8. On b4. Sapenov is looking to play. On b5. Knight a5. Knight takes d4 and take decisive advantage. Knight takes b4 played by Puranik. Knight takes d4, it is novelty move. On e5. Puranik intends to play. On takes d4. Rook takes e8 check. Knight takes e8 and establish a winning position. Knight b5 played by Sapenov. Bishop g4. Threatening bishop takes d1. Queen d2 played by Sapenov. Knight c6. Knight takes d6. Queen takes d6. Rook b1. Queen d7. Knight e3. Bishop e6. Bishop b2. Rook a d8. Bishop a1. On b6. Rook b5. Bishop h3. Knight d5. Bishop takes g2. Knight takes f6 check. On takes f6. King takes g2. King g7. Rook e3. Queen g4. Puranik's idea is to play. Queen takes c4. On takes c4. Rook takes d2 and secure a stronghold in the game. Queen c2 played by Sapenov. Rook e6. Rook e4. Threatening rook takes g4 check. Queen g6 played by Puranik. Queen e2. Sapenov wants to play. Rook g4. Queen g5. On h4. Knight d4. Bishop takes d4. On takes d4. Queen f3. Rook d6. On takes g5 and seize the initiative. On h5 played by Puranik. Rook d5. Rook ed6. Puranik is looking to play. Rook takes d5. On takes d5. Rook takes d5 and establish a winning position. Rook takes d6 played by Sapenov. Rook takes d6. On f4. On takes f4. On d4. On takes g3. On takes g3. On b5. Threatening pawn takes c4. On d5 played by Sapenov. Threatening pawn takes c6. Knight b8 played by Puranik. Rook f4. Sapenov intends to play. On c5. Rook takes d5. Rook takes f6. Queen takes f6. Bishop takes f6 check and increase their advantage significantly. On takes c4 played by Puranik. Queen e7. Rook a6 time to think, find the best continuation for Sapenov. Rook f2 is logical continuation as on h4, on g4, queen g5, king h2, on c3. Bishop takes c3 position is equal. Let's explore the main game. Threatening queen takes d6. Rook a6 played by Puranik. Threatening rook takes a2 check. On a4 is not the best move played by Sapenov. Sapenov is preparing to play bishop d4, knight d7, queen takes d7, queen c2 check, bishop f2 and gain a significant edge. On c3 played by Puranik. Puranik's idea is to play on c2, rook f1, on h4, queen c7, queen d3 and establish a winning position. On d6 played by Sapenov. Rook takes a4, rook takes a4, queen c2 check, king h3. Sapenov is looking to play rook f4, knight d7, bishop takes c3 and establish a winning position. Queen takes a4 played by Puranik. Bishop takes c3, queen g4 check, king h2. Threatening queen takes f6 check. Knight d7 played by Puranik. Queen e3. On a6. Queen e1. Queen g5. Queen e4. Queen c5. Threatening queen takes c3. Queen e7 played by Sapenov. Queen f2 check. King h3. Knight c5. Puranik intends to play knight e6. Bishop takes f6 check. Queen takes f6 and take decisive advantage. Queen e1 played by Sapenov. Queen f5 check. King h2. Queen c2 check. King h1. Queen d3. Threatening queen takes d6. Queen d2 played by Sapenov. Sapenov is planning to play queen takes d3. Knight takes d3. On d7. Knight e5. On promotes to queen at d8 and sees the initiative. Queen takes d2 played by Puranik. Bishop takes d2. King g6. Puranik is planning to play king f5. King h2. King e6. King h3. Knight e4. On d7. King takes d7 and gain a significant edge. Bishop b4 played by Sapenov. Threatening bishop takes c5. Knight d7 played by Puranik. King g2. King f5. King h3. King e6. Puranik's idea is to play on f5. King h4. Knight f6. Bishop c3. Knight e4 and secure a stronghold in the game. King h4 played by Sapenov. On f5. King takes h5. Knight f6 check. King g5. Knight e4 check. King f4. Knight takes d6. King e3. On a5. Threatening pawn takes b4. Bishop e1 played by Sapenov. On a4. Puranik's idea is to play. On a3. Bishop b4. On a2. Bishop c3. Knight e4 and put immense pressure on the opponent. King d4 played by Sapenov. On a3. Puranik's idea is to play. On a2. On g4. On promotes to queen at a1 check. Bishop c3. Knight b5 check. King c5. Queen takes c3 check. King b6. King d5. Pawn takes f5 and dominate the board. King c3 played by Sapenov. Knight b5 check. King b3. Knight d4 check. King a2. King d5. Bishop d2. Knight b5. King b3. King e4. Bishop f4. King f3. Bishop e5. On f6. Threatening pawn takes e5. Bishop b8 played by Sapenov. Knight d4 check. King takes a3. Knight e2. King b3. Knight takes g3. King c2. On f4. King d2. Knight h5. Puranik claimed a well-earned victory.